Hey guys, so we're kind of making this Evolution Blue Vegeta day today. I just did a showcase on him, seeing how he fared sort of like in the part 3 meta of the anniversary. This guy dropped in part 1. I don't think I used him maybe like once during part 2, and then I've not used him in part 3 at all. So just wanted to kind of gauge how well he was doing in part 3. I didn't talk much about him in that video because I was saving a lot of what I wanted to say about him for this video, but I figured the best way to do this is we just go through what people have to say about him, what they think about him, how they feel about him, and then I'll kind of give my supplementary comments and how I feel as we go through the responses here. So my post, thoughts on transforming Evolution Blue Vegeta now that we have the full roster of anniversary characters out. I think we can all agree that he received the unfortunate short end of the stick out of the anniversary premium units and wanted to gauge the sentiment around him. So before we jump in, one thing I just wanted to ask for the comments on this video is if you guys have any topics or things you want to see me discuss about Legends, about the anniversary, whatever, let me know, because I was doing the one of my Donkey Kong Bonanza streams, and I've got a few people asking if I could do more discussion videos, and I feel like I already do quite a bit discussion videos, but if people want to see more, I'm down for that, but I would like to have at least a list of topics so I don't just go into these and ramble away, even though that's typically what I end up doing anyway. And I like doing this format better than just me kind of talking about one topic on my own. I mean, I'll obviously still do that if there's a big, thing that I have to talk about, like if there's like a new update coming or whatever, then I'll obviously do my kind of like solo discussion video where it's just me kind of talking to the wall for 30 minutes. But for these ones, I like to kind of get the community involved. So that's why I'm asking you guys to comment down on Twitter here. And we're just going to go through these comments and I'll read them and I'll give my thoughts on the character. So, I could give a little synopsis now, but let's just go through some of these comments and I'll kind of give my comments as we go through them. Used him a lot during part 1/2. My issues with him: needs a unit like Kaba that supports him since he stacks damage, cut penetration. He stacks this with the, I believe it's with the blast card, but no damage inflicted. His disrupt is easily ignored / circumvented. Yeah, if you have card destruction immunity, which a certain yellow ultra character has. Prone to card cost increase / key reduction. Yeah, he doesn't have abnormal condition, or what is it? Attribute downgrade nullification. His overall team feels weaker than strike teams. Yes, this is one of the two big problems with the character. So I guess we could just go into this now. I have two major issues with the character. The first major issue I have with the character is when they okay, this is more of a thing with the anniversary overall. And it's actually something that I think is good that they did with the anniversary. So when we go into this anniversary, trust me, this is all going to come back to Evolution Blue Vegeta, but I just need to sort of explain this before we get into it. They actually did something quite astounding this anniversary. We went into part 1. The Universe Reps team went from 0 to probably the best team in the game. Probably the best team in the game. We went in part 2 from the Saiyan Saga team having 0 to being the best team in the game. In part 3, we went from the Frieza Saga team essentially having 0 to, I think, being the best team in the game. I think the Frieza Saga team is the best team in the game right now. So every single part of the anniversary, we took a team from nothing to the best in just one part of the celebration. That's pretty incredible. That is. But when it comes to the Universe Reps team and the way that they buffed the Universe Reps roster and the way that they buffed the Universe Reps just tag overall, this is really the only one where they kind of bifurcated the team into two different teams. We can see this a little bit with Saiyan Saga, right? This Vegeta technically is more of a blast character, but the Saiyan Saga team meshes and works together so well that you can kind of just throw Vegeta on a team with Goku, on a team with Kaioken Goku, and you could throw a third character, whether it's Tien and Chaozu, the Blue Saiyan Saga Goku, and you'll have a comprehensive team because they just designed the characters to work super well together. And, you know, people hate Daima, But Daima was a team where they did that too. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Majin Ku, you had the green Daima Goku Zenkai character, you had Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Majin Buu. Like, the team worked pretty flawlessly because the kits were designed clearly to work well together, and that is something they utterly failed to do with the DB team. And I think it is actually something they, I would say, pseudo failed to do with Universe Reps, but they didn't entirely fail because I think Universe Reps during part 1 was the best team in the game. But it really comes down to their handling of Evolution Blue Vegeta as a character. Because at the end of the day, the best team, I think, for Universe Reps, it was UI Goku. This is the best character. During part 1 of the anniversary, this blue UI Goku, I thought, was so far ahead of the rest of the game, it wasn't even remotely comparable. Like, if I would probably have this guy at 1, and then 2 would be nothing. And then 3 was like this guy. Like, this guy, he was just so far ahead of everything else, because this was before we got the part 2 update with the overdrive and overcharge mechanics. This was before we got part 3 with Frieza. Like, this guy was just completely unchecked before we got this Vegeta in the game too. Like, it was you could not do anything versus this guy. Basically, you had to like run transforming Vegito Blue or mini green Daima Goku and just hope you caught him. That was how you played against the character. But it was this guy. It was Ultra Hit with his platinum equipment, and then probably Kale and Caulifla was the best lineup. The other option was Revival UI instead of Kale and Caulifla. So Revival UI, Hit, and then this guy. That's the team I ran for God Rank in part 1. It worked very, very well. But really, Evolution Blue Vegeta, I don't really think was in the discussion for best Universe Reps lineup because... And now we're finally getting back to this point. His overall team feels weaker than the Strike team. This guy is blast focused. And it's not one of those situations where it's like he's got even stats, but he's labeled as a ranged character, so you can kind of throw him on the Strike team. At the end of the day, I think the best way to use this guy is to actually put him on the Strike Universe Reps team and just kind of force it. But that's not really where this character is designed to shine. This character is designed to shine in a Blast team. That's why they designed Cabba the way that they did, but that doesn't work with the rest of the Universe Rep characters. So why did they do this for him when they could have just made him a Strike character, have him work exceptionally well with a blue UI Goku, maybe get the support from Kale and Caulifla, have him work really well with a red Ultra Hit, right? Blue, purple, red is a premium color wheel. So this guy, if he was Strike based, if he was just, you know, you literally, all you do is you literally just change... you just change this to melee type, and then you just flip his strike attack and blast attack. You just flip these. You swap these numbers, and that's it. Boom. He's like significantly better, I would say. So that's my first major issue with this character, is the fact that they gave him this design as a ranged character, as a blast character, when at the end of the day, they were going to make the better characters on Universe Reps Strike. And again, I'm not saying you can't use this guy on a Strike team, because I think that actually is the better place to use him, but he's not leveraging his strengths if you do that as efficiently. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is actually a much bigger problem with the character than number 1, but the second major issue with this character is his entire design philosophy is flawed. And the reason why I say this is because this is a character that they even mentioned this in the reveal. If you go back to the Legends information from part 1 of the anniversary, they even talked about the fact that this character was designed to be a long combo character. No, we can't do that. And the only way you can really do that, the only way you can really make long combo characters now, is you give them something really broken like this Frieza has with the active gauge. That's kind of the only way you can get around being a long combo character, because you can't do the thing where you give us characters like Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You can't do the thing where you give us characters like Transforming Vegito Blue. It just doesn't work. Future Gohan and Trunks essentially got killed because of their change to the battle system with these long combo compensation changes where the sub counts don't go down, you draw less cards, you get less ki. There's too many penalties associated with long combos to make it anywhere even remotely close to as powerful as it used to be, right? This guy drops how he is, but he drops like in February, This is a godly character. Godly character. But it's not February. Right? It's this, the game has changed. And especially when we take a look at part 2, this guy combos for like 10, 11, 12 cards. All you're doing is you're just giving your opponent an overdrive for free. That's all you're doing, right? Sure, you might be building up his unique gauge to level 2 to level 3 maybe. But at the end of the day, you're comboing for so long that this guy's damage just becomes almost negligible. Most of the better teams in the game are swapping constantly. They're healing tons and tons of HP. So the long combo benefit that this character gets from doing what he's designed to do, which is long combos, there's a huge imbalance in the benefit that you're receiving with those combos, because your opponent is just healing all the damage off. They're getting a benefit from it, from getting their overdrive mode up. And it's really not a good design for characters right now. And they dropped this character basically full well knowing that was going to be the case. So I think there are huge design flaws with just the philosophy behind this character overall, right? We talk about characters that I'm not really huge fans of, right? So like Purple Demon King Piccolo, I think there's like two or three areas where they really needed to change some parts of how his kit works, how his mechanics work. Fusion Zamasu, I dropped a video when this guy first came out, saying, there's like really 2 or 3 things that I really think they should have changed or designed differently with his kit. We have characters like Yellow Goku Black, same exact thing. There's like 2 or 3 parts of his kit that I really think should have been changed to make the character flow better, perform better. When it comes to this guy, there are not 2 or 3 areas in his kit that I think should have changed or been better. His whole kit from the ground up is flawed, because you can't design a character to work around long combos nearly as well as they used to. Again, unless you're this guy. Unless you have something ridiculously game-breaking like the active gauge that this Frieza has. So those are my 2 issues with this character. The fact that he's more of a blast character. He benefits more from blasts. More of his strengths can be found in the areas of him using blast cards. Again, he's stacking sustained damage cut penetration with his blast cards. He's just doing more damage with his blast cards because he's got more blast attack in his stats. And he works the best with Cabba here, because Cabba, obviously being the 1% sparking on his banner, is designed to be working the best with Vegeta. Being a blast focused character, being a support for Vegeta, being red and purple, these 2 colors work well together, right? So that's his strength. This character's supposed strength is being a blast character, but obviously it's not going to mesh well with the better strike characters that are on the Universe Rep team. And then the second one just being, he's supposed to be building up his unique gauge, leveling it up by comboing for super long periods of time, and that's not really what the game promotes anymore. So those are the issues I have with this character. So yeah, honestly, my biggest problem with him, which also extends to MUI, is that we have seen the same mechanics on various units already. As much as I value a character and how good they are, at the end of the day, what sells a character for me is how fun and unique they are to use. Yeah, this is not related to like Vegeta maybe being like, we've seen this before where characters are just like completely broken, like beyond belief. Like Majin Vegeta is a good example of this, actually. Ultra Majin Vegeta. This is a character that dropped and he was like utterly insanely broken, but he didn't really introduce any new mechanics to the game. Nothing this guy did was unique or innovative or interesting pretty much at all, right? He was just kind of like, okay, he's got the like cheap counter gauge, he's got the lock-in, he's got the AoE green. All they did is they just gave this guy like every super mega annoying mechanic in the game. And then the same thing with this character, honestly, too. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But at least this guy had Armor Break, which was a new mechanic. Majin Vegeta literally just dropped. They bunched all the annoying mechanics together and dropped into this character and just released him as it is. But he didn't come with anything new. So again, not related to like how good the character is. But yeah, this is my biggest criticism of Part 1 overall, is the new characters didn't come out with any new mechanics. And I think that's really what led to a lot of the disappointment for players when it came to the Part 1 characters. This is exactly how I felt this unit left the anniversary. Kakarot, I leave the rest to you. Yeah, this Vegeta dropped, and then we got Blue UI Goku, we got Red Kaioken Goku, and then we got Namek Goku. But to be fair, this guy's really good. This Saiyan Saga Vegeta, this guy's really good. He is very, very, very good. Very, very good. All right, let's move on here. In my honest opinion, I wanted him more than transforming MUI Goku, but unfortunately he seems like a 2023 unit in that sense. It takes way too long for the gauge to build up to level 3. At that point, you might as well make it a timer count situation for how long it takes, and he wants to combo long, and that's not a thing. Like, yeah, this is true. Sure, he can be good and do damage, and don't get me wrong, I like the unit, but he should have been way better. Yeah, I think I do actually like this guy more than most people do. Right? A lot of people feel like this guy is complete trash, and I don't think that's the case, but certainly if you're releasing a character as a Part 1 anniversary headlining character, this guy's on the logo of the 6th anniversary. Okay, he's on the logo of the 6th anniversary. Sorry, 7th anniversary. 7th anniversary. He must be better. He must be better, right? And I was saying the same thing about Yellow Goku Black when Yellow Goku Black dropped for Legends Fest as the Part 1 headliner next to Green transforming Vegito Blue. But to me, there's just something different about an anniversary, and especially the 7th anniversary. That's something that they've been talking about for a long time, and they've mentioned that 7 is a special year for the game. So to me, this is probably going to be a situation, I would imagine, where this guy will get a God Goku level unique equip at some point. A unique can fix him, yeah. One major thing they can do is make unique charge rate up 30 to 50%, give him more damage, something like God. Okay, yeah, exactly what I said. Yeah, this is true. The one interesting thing about this character is the only place, I believe, where he actually gets unique gauge charge rate is on the green card. If we go down to the green card here, he gets it off of this. Unique gauge charge rate, 30%. You can't stack this. I mean, I get why, actually, they do this, because if you could stack this, when you have the gauge at level 3, you essentially would have an unlimited combo. Because you just constantly be able to fill up your hand over and over and over and over and over again and have infinite cover null. That's why they made it non-stacking. But what they should have done is they just should have had unique gauge charge rate somewhere else in the kit. This is special move. Wait, what? Oh, this is turn power stuff. Yeah, there's nowhere else in the kit where he actually has unique gauge charge rate besides the green. So that was a little... I remember when I did the breakdown for this guy, I was like, I don't know if that's enough. I remember saying that. But yeah, that is true. He should have been top 5. We haven't had a good Evolution Blue Vegeta yet, and I'm not counting the tag one. The yellow one was good when he dropped. The yellow one, but I mean, that was a long time ago. The yellow one dropped in 2021. I think the yellow one was the next release after Full Power Frieza, the yellow Full Power Frieza, and he was very powerful versus Revival Purple Gohan because he had an anti-revive mechanic back then. So he was good. He was good for sure. Aside from him being purple and now with the release of Ultra Namek Goku, I was like, what the hell's this? Ultra Namek Goku. I find him still good to use. Yeah, I get people say his gauge takes too long to fill up, but it comes down to user judgment. You have to know how to use them and time when to transform, but I main Vegeta, so I'm biased. Again, I like the character probably more than most people do, but, you know, there's a limit to how good I can say he is. And especially now that we have this character in the game, let me go back. Especially now that we have this guy in the game, it's like, you know, Vegeta gets caught by one AoE green, he's locked in, he's killed. It's over. Boom, he's dead. Right, because Vegeta doesn't have buff removal. So Namek Goku catches him with an AoE green, locks him in, uses his ult, he's dead. Boom. He literally one-shotted. So I don't know. With how the celebration played out, I think he was left off worse than even the likes of Yellow Goku Black. There's so many gaps in his kit and he takes so long to build up, there's really no point in using him, especially when there's an Ultra that does his job way better. Yeah, he's talking about Frieza. I mean, yeah, I can't really argue this. Comparison to Yellow Goku Black, the thing with Goku Black is at least he's got like buff removal and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't really say this now. Like, Goku Black now is just too old, right? But Goku Black, the major problem for this guy was the fact that his gauge, you had to manually reset the gauge. That was the biggest issue with the character. And it really does feel like the way that this guy's gauge was designed and the way that this guy's gauge was designed are like prototypes for the Kaioken Goku gauge, right? This is the way, imagine if Fusion Zamasu had the same like gauge as this guy in terms of needing the same amount of hits to fill it up and activate it as Kaioken Goku. This guy would have been like a ridiculous character when he dropped. And I remember making this comment in one of the showcases I did, but like this is essentially like the completed version of Fusion Zamasu. This guy was just the prototype for this guy, probably. But in terms of Yellow Goku Black, yeah, I didn't like his design because, number one, the way he, like, his cover null thing was weird because back then when this guy, I mean, it kind of makes a little bit more sense now, but back when this guy dropped, he gave, like, what is it, like 10 counts of cover null to the entire... Well, it wasn't, actually, no, it wasn't cover null to your team. It was no switching to the enemy team. It was a debuff he applied. So you could just swap in with a character that doesn't have cover null and just freely combo, right? Because the enemies would be afflicted with no switching. But the reason why it didn't really matter back when this guy dropped is because every character just had cover null for free for like 10 plus counts on swap in. So it didn't matter at all. It didn't matter at all. The only character that needed cover null was this guy, and this guy like didn't really get consistent cover null elsewhere in his kit either. So it was really weird that way. Very weird defensive, design with the unique gauge not being able to reset it unless you proactively use a green or a blue. So yeah, there was issues with this character, but I think he has sub count reduction from standby. He has buff removal, so he had like the essential functions of what made him what he needed to be ran on a future team next to VB, the other part 1 headlining character. But this guy, I really do think he was flawed from the get-go, right? Because they came out with the battle system change to where they were very heavily disincentivizing long combos, and then they dropped this character as a character where you need to long combo. So yeah. Needs the LF God Goku unique equip. His kit is bad. MUI has better defense. Yes. This is also another problem. They gave UI Goku, and this is a comment I made about this character back in part 1 too, is you would think that UI Goku having the auto dodging gauge is like the main defensive ability this guy would have. And that is certainly not the case, because they gave this guy not only the auto dodging gauge, but when he's transformed into Mastered UI, they gave him a counter green. Okay, here's a few things. They gave him a counter green, which is just, I mean, even still, probably shouldn't exist. Just doesn't need that. No counter green. He has this, which I think is one of the most annoying mechanics ever created in the game, where he just gets his unique gauge back when you switch characters. Very ridiculous. He has this too. He's healing, he's lowering your ki, and he's increasing your cost by 10 every time he gets hit with an arts card. And he's got endurance. And he's got this against blue cards and ultimates. Like, they gave this guy twice the amount of defensive mechanics that Evolution Blue Vegeta has. I can't explain it. I can't. This is what feels like an Anniversary Part 1 headlining character. This is what a Part 1 Anniversary headlining character looks like, with his design and the way that they gave him. Like, typically when it comes to these major celebrations, what they usually do is they usually give the characters a little bit more than they actually need. And that is super, super apparent with this UI Goku character. That is not the case with this guy. So I'm not sure what went wrong with the design process, because like where was this for Vegeta? Vegeta doesn't really have anything like this. That's the problem. Don't even get me started on the gauge. Takes 6 eons for it to build. Yeah, his whole kit is like someone putting cookies in an oven. It's all one big blob of a mess when it's done. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it's actually like a mess, but it's just wrong. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Like, his kit actually does work theoretically, with quotation marks. It theoretically actually works, his kit. But it's just... Okay, what's the best way to... It's like, it theoretically works, and it actually does flow together pretty well, right? You get cards when you use a certain amount of cards. You fill your hand up. You use the cards to get your unique gauge. You fill up the unique gauge. You get cover null. You get more cards. You kind of like snowball that way. So it flows well. His kit actually does flow well. But his kit flows well with mechanics that aren't good. I guess, right? So I guess we can kind of build off his analogy here. His whole kit is like someone putting cookies in an oven and it's all one big blob of a mess when it's done. The way I would describe it is it's someone putting cookies in an oven and the cookies turn out like really well shaped and they look good, but the batter was expired. Right? The batter you made the cookies with was expired to begin with. That's the equivalent I would make. That's the analogy I would make for this character. All right. Oh my god. It seems like LF transforming Evolution Blue Vegeta was just a copy paste from how LF Tag Evolution Blue Vegeta and Blue Kaioken Goku work. Also, they did say they would, from April 2025 onwards, gradually slow down with the characters. I guess the new philosophy of characters was wrong that they said. I've talked about this before. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be able to pull this up like immediately, but yeah, in March, it was the end of March, they said that moving forward in April, they were going to start releasing characters with their new design philosophy. You know, they were going to have like the bullet point format. It was going to be different, and they did that. But one of the points they made in that newsletter was they said that they were going to gradually start to kind of like streamline characters into specific roles. And that is not really what they did. Well, it wasn't even just gradually streamline characters. It was they were going to gradually shift from these. I can just illustrate this if we go over here. They were going to shift from this. Where's Daimagoku? They were going to shift from this. Look at this kit. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this. These are his unique abilities. They were going to shift from this to, I guess we can go to Kid Goku. Shift from that to this. Right? I mean, it's still a lot. Right? This is his unique ability here. We only have one unique ability now, plus the starter ability. So they were going to go from, where is it? This to this. Right? And they did. They did that. But they said they were going to gradually reduce the disrupt effects. They were gradually going to reduce the cover null stuff. Like all the, there were like, I would say 4 or 5 mechanics that most characters had, just you needed to have as a character to be even considered viable. And so they're trying to shy away from that, where, okay, every character doesn't necessarily need mechanic A, B, C, or D. We're going to more so focus on characters having, you know, particular identities. And then they're going to work with other characters that have other identities. That's kind of the way that they wanted to do this. But it ended up not being very gradual. Let's just say that. They even said LF transforming Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 Goku was a mistake. Literally, yet they created another combo machine that's just in need to combo. Yeah. All LF transforming Evolution Blue Vegeta does is just combo, and that's the end goal for him. Nothing special about him, just long combos. Even with their addition to the game of making your key recovery and the team sub count stop when you go beyond a certain combo, that still doesn't really work, as 99 combos are still happening. Are they? I mean, every once in a while, you might see a combo hit 90. But, I mean, if you were playing during Legends Fest, and honestly, even after Legends Fest, like, not really so much the Daima meta, but it was, like, the period right before the Daima meta, where we had, like, Ultra Cell, we had Future Gohan and Trunks, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Vegito Blue, like, combo, and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks was a big culprit of this, too. We would have combos go for so long that I'm pretty sure, because 99 is the limit that the game displays, but I'm pretty sure if the game could display more than 99 combos, you would very, very often run into combos where the person is comboing for 200, 250, 300 combos very easily, right? So it is much different now. Again, every once in a while, I do see combos hit 90, 99, but it is pretty rare. And the problem with this, though, is you might sometimes, like, rarely see this, but there's really not much of a purpose to doing that, right? You're going to be getting no ki, you're going to be getting no cards, you're going to be doing, like, no damage, and all you're doing is you're just building up your opponent's overcharge gauge, so you're doing even less damage. So, sure, but there's not really a merit to doing this now. Though my assumption and thought when they released Transforming Evolution Blue Vegeta was that it's an anniversary, and so we're just having fun and releasing whatever. and not following with their gradually new design philosophy, which is fine, I guess, since it's a celebration. But if they continue like making characters like LF Transforming Evolution Blue Vegeta after 7th anniversary in between the gaps, so from August through October, then I don't know what's going on. Though to point out, purple has been a very weak color for months. After Yellow Ultra Majin Vegeta, they dropped Yellow Ultra Beast Gohan, and now we get Yellow Ultra Super Saiyan Namek Goku. So 3 Yellow Ultra characters make it not looking good. Every other color is in a good spot except purple. It's been this way for a long time. Purple has been, I would actually argue, purple has been in the biggest drought we've ever seen a color be in the history of this game. Let's go to just purple here. So let's go through the past year of the color. Okay, the past year of the color. Let's just start with the anniversary characters. We have Ultimate Gohan. This is a Part 2 6th anniversary character. After Ultimate Gohan, we get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Okay, so this is essentially the Full Power Frieza Namek Goku slot of last year's anniversary. After Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, we get free-to-play Goten. We get Garlic Jr., Days, who's part of the Crusher Corps. We get free Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We get Perfect Cell and Final Form Frieza from GT. This is Legends Fest. So all of these characters, this is actually besides Jiren, these 4 characters is what we got for purple in between Anniversary and Legends Fest. Okay, then we get this Part 1. Tamagami number 3 for Part 2, who is actually pretty damn good. Very good 1% spark. One of the best ever, honestly, 1% sparkings. Then we get Future Gohan and Trunks, who's not even a full purple character. This is like a, I don't know, 2/3 blue character. The only purple like 1/3 of the time, I would say. Android 17, who was pretty solid on release. This Goku, who is like the equivalent of running into like a shiny Pokemon, pretty much. Majin Du, again, just a really good 1% sparking for Daima. Demon King Piccolo, possibly in the running for one of the worst LFs ever released. This character we're talking about right now. And then Tien. And that's it. So, like, when was the last mega dominant purple? Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta a year ago. Right? I think Tamagami number 3 was very good. I think Majin Du was very good. But these are not game-dominating characters. We could pull up every color in the game, and there are game-dominating colors for each typing multiple times probably within the past year, except for purple. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta really was the last game-dominating purple character. So we've been saying this for like, what, 7-8 months now, that, you know, purple, we're due for a purple character. We got a monster purple character coming. And we just, I don't know. Where is it? Where is it? All the other anniversary characters are better than him. He just was designed worse, and maybe if they made him a defensive character, then it would have been different. Maybe a platinum equipment right now would be the only thing for him. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a unique equipment at some point. I think, honestly, if I were them, after party, unique equip, boom, just give it to him. I mean, come on, like, why not? Why not? Nothing new here. Typical situation where Vegeta doesn't get the love he deserves, not even as an anniversary headliner. Still, I'm gonna have fun and make the best out of what I got, praying we get some help in the near future. All right, man. I mean, you really want to do this? I get it, right? Vegeta Clan has a history of, I guess, instability. There's a history of instability with the Vegeta Clan team. I'm trying to find this tag. There it is. There's a history of instability with the Vegeta Clan. I mean, we could just take a look at like the last like many releases. Evolution Blue Vegeta and Blue Kaioken Goku, kind of a similar situation to this character, but I actually think this character was better than this purple Evolution Blue Vegeta. It's pretty similar though. But yeah, they kind of fell off very quickly. He Who Must Not Be Named. This guy is like right there with Demon King Piccolo. Not good. Vegeta and Nappa, I think history is going to look back at this character as a lot worse than they actually were. This was a solid, like, second or third best character on the team that you're using. And I thought this character was pretty solid when they dropped. I do. They were real. Nappa was really, really tanky, and then Vegeta was pretty solid. But this was back during a time where revival characters didn't really have like 2 solid lives. It was kind of like the first life character was kind of just like they were made to die almost. Like they weren't really a complete unit. Kind of reminds me of like Pikkon and Gogeta, where the Pikkon side of the character really kind of just existed to die. Nowadays we have characters like Revival, Saiyan Saga Vegeta, which I mean, both sides of the character are complete units, and that really wasn't the case back then when like this Nappa and Vegeta came out. But I did really actually think this character was pretty good when they dropped. This character, very controversial when they came out. They were a part 1 headliner of the 6th anniversary. Definitely not as good as they should have been. Definitely better than this guy though. But I mean, they were solid. This character was God. Future Gohan and Trunks, very good when they dropped. Super Trunks, incredibly good 1% sparking. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, incredibly good. Saiyan Saga Vegeta, incredibly good. Ultra Majin Vegeta, beyond broken. So I mean, yeah, there are some duds with Vegeta Clan, but are you pretending that fusing Super Vegeta was bad? Future Gohan and Trunks, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Saiyan Saga Vegeta, Ultra Majin Vegeta? Like, yeah, I get that it's like cool to hate on the Vegeta Clan team and like say the Vegeta Clan team gets shafted, but are we for real? Like, there's a lot going on this team. Like, this team has gotten a lot. The past year and a half for Vegeta Clan has been like godsend. I personally don't have the unit, but whenever I fight it, it goes 3 ways. He either gets destroyed since I have ways to stop his combo easily, he cooks since I have no counter for him on my team, or he ends up being rush fodder due to being a liability. Okay. Short end of the stick, did bro even get a yes. I don't think he's as bad as many people think he is. He's all right if you can use him right with the cover and all, but I think they should have given him gimmicks to make him stand out. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Same thing with UI Goku. Something similar to the show where he passed his last remaining energy to Goku could have been a big heal and damage inflicted buffs or something. Yeah, that would have been cool, like an enhanced death buff, I guess was what it would be, right? Like a death animation where I guess it would kind of be similar to like Tapion or Magenta, where they die and then they do like the Cell Max AoE or the Hirudegarn AoE, but instead of it being like an AoE or doing damage, it's like a full team heal or something, like where it's like a 40% damage buff to your team or something like that. I don't know, but that would have been cool. Yeah, actually, if he had buff cancellation and released pre-long combo penalty, he would have been so good. Yeah, it really is just the pre-long combo penalty. Like, why did they design him like that? But of course, devs hate Vegeta. We only have such a few Vegetas that were good on release. Like, okay, are we gonna go through like the whole history here? We could start by going way back. Purple Vegeta, really good. This guy was solid. GT Super Saiyan Vegeta was crazy good. This guy, when he dropped, was insane. Super Vegeta was good. This Saiyan Saga Vegeta was insane. First character with an AoE green, by the way, this guy. Red Majin Vegeta. People are going to look back at this character as being bad because he... I can't believe I'm actually doing this in this video. Where is it? This. He debuffed your team, inflicts attribute downgrade, 30% damage received to all other allies for 20 counts. Like, people are going to look back at this character and be like, he debuffed your team, he sucked. No, this was insane. 50% damage back then was like unheard of. This guy did so much. This guy literally soloed every character in the game. This guy was insane. So he was insane. God Vegeta was really good. He was this is like the first guy with a cover change, I think. Actually, because it was the cross arm guard is what they called it. Cross arm guard. Yeah, here it is, dude. Knocks enemy back to long range if they are at close range. Applies strike and blast arts armor when changing cover. Yeah, this was not a thing in the game. I mean, it was like Super Vegito, and this guy had the first cover changes. This guy was insane. This guy was terrible. This guy sucked. Rage Vegeta was horrible. First anniversary Blue Vegeta was like... This guy was like second best unit in the game or something behind purple Super Vegito. This guy locked you in, was it 2 or 3 times when he entered the battlefield? Like, this is like the best, this might be the best sniper ever. This character, like, he was insane. Okay, so he was insane. This guy was insane. This was the best unit in the game, this green Vegeta. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was insane. This guy was bad. This transforming God Vegeta, he was bad. This guy was crazy. Second anniversary blue Vegeta. This guy wasn't that good. This is the LF transforming mod. He was like not very good. This guy. This guy was, I would say this guy was solid. He wasn't crazy. He wasn't great. He was good. This guy was an insane support. He was just a crazy support for Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This guy, when he dropped, was very, very good. Like one of the best counters in the entire game to Purple Revival Gohan. Red Saiyan Saga Vegeta was very good. I don't even have to talk about this character at all. Yeah, this guy was in the running for one of the worst characters ever. This Vegeta right here, terrible, awful. Tag Force were crazy. Vegeta and Trunks not very good. This character not very good. And then that's where we get to the characters I already talked about. So are we really going to say that of course the devs hate Vegeta? We only have such a few Vegetas that were good on release. Kindly explain where. Right? I mean, I could point out a few that weren't very good on release. This guy, horrible, terrible on release. This guy, he was pretty bad. This Transforming God Vegeta was pretty bad. This guy was bad for sure. Vegeta and Trunks weren't very good. These guys weren't very good. But that's it. Who else? Oh, Super Vegeta. Yeah, Super Vegeta was not very good. And then like this guy's not bad, but he's an anniversary character. So yeah, this guy should have been better 100,000%. Like who else? Who else? Who else was bad on here? Seems to me like, I don't know, 85% of Vegetas were actually very good on release. I don't know. The disrupt of the units are too good. Vegeta can't punch through them. Also, long combo units are always boring. This is actually a pretty good point. This goes back to the point that Adam makes over here when he talks about gradually reducing the amount of disrupt in the game. They didn't do that at all. They didn't do that at all. They didn't do that at all, man. I feel it's a trend at this point. Super Vegeta bad, Majin Vegeta good, Evolution Blue Vegeta bad, Saiyan Saga Vegeta good. I don't understand why they keep playing games when designing a Vegeta unit. Don't ever see them doing that with Goku or Gohan. The bias got to end already. By the way, everyone needs, I mean, would you say he's bad? No. But he should have been better. But I mean, dude. What was the order of releases here? It was Future Gohan and Trunks. No, it was... This is sort of by Vegeta Clan. This is in order, right? It was fusing... Okay, this is the order. You guys ready for this order? Fusing Super Vegito. Ultra Majin Vegeta. Future Gohan and Trunks. Super Trunks. Well, I mean, this is a Vegeta Clan character. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Evolution Blue Vegeta, Saiyan Saga Vegeta. So you have one. I mean, I guess we won't count non-Vegetas because we'll just count Vegeta as a character only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to like count this as a miss, then that's still 4 out of 5 Vegetas. Out of the past 5 Vegetas that have released that are insane. Very good. So yeah, I don't know. This happens with every self-proclaimed combo character. I mean, that's not true. It's only because of the way they changed the battle system, right? So if we go back here, you're telling me that this guy was bad? You're telling me that Vegito Blue was bad? Gotenks was bad? Future Gohan and Trunks? Like, it's just the case now because of the way they changed the game. Like they came out with a character who is like completely designed around combos and long combos and filling his gauge up and snowballing and, you know, just pounding away. Okay, that's how he's designed. But it doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work. But it worked when this guy dropped. Worked when this guy dropped. Worked when Gotenks dropped. Worked when Tree of Might Goku dropped. So yeah, I don't agree with that. I speak for everyone when I say they should give him a God Goku level Unicorn. Yes. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I said during the after party. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, would anybody be upset about that? No. No, why would you be upset about that? I've had him carry out matches. Sure, he's not as broken as the other units, but you know. Yeah. Yep. He's so mid is the reason why Ultra Frieza or Green in general have so much play right now, since Purple basically has no one to stop. I mean, this is true, but I'm not going to pin that all on Vegeta. They've not given us a good Purple, or no, that's not true. They've not given us a game-dominating Purple in a year. It's been a full year since we've had a game-dominating Purple character. Right? I mean, you know what? Let's just sort by every typing. Red. Okay, let's take a look. So since the 6th anniversary, Gotenks was very good. Daima Goku was very good. Kaioken Goku is insane. Hits Platinum is insane. Ultra Cell. Red is looking pretty good for the past year. Blue. Let's see. So a feature going in Trunks, yes. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, UI Goku, Turles. Blue's looking good. Green, I mean, the green is like stacked. God Goku, who they gave the equip to. Omega was really good. This guy is probably one of the best 1% Zenkai sparkings we've seen since the Dark Ages. Vegito Blue, super, like these are all good. Kaon Caulifla, full power Frieza, Rose with his equip. I mean, yeah, we know how good green is, right? Yellow. Okay, Tree of Might Goku is very good. I'll skip him for now. I'm also gonna skip you. Majin Ku. I mean, I had him at like number 1, tied for number 1 with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Majin Vegeta, Beast, and Namek Goku, just 3 ultras, and that's it. So it's really just purple, man. It is really just purple. He's way better than Proud since he can combo for half the match and win by timeout. Admittedly, I have not used him in Proud. I have not played Proud a single time since the anniversary drop, and maybe I should. Yeah, I just haven't played Proud. I think you could make the statement, generally speaking, that most characters are just better in Proud. I feel like that would be a fair statement to make. Most characters are just going to be better in Proud. It's just the way it works. So I could see this, but if there are actually a few characters that I think were specifically designed to be good in Proud. A perfect example of this actually is Fusion Zamasu. I think was designed to be way better in Proud, and I think he was. I think he was actually a pretty solid option in Proud for sure. But if you're talking about an anniversary part 1 headlining character, if you are just going to be designing the character to mainly be used in Proud, that is a mistake. Okay, that is a mistake. Do that for like a monthly LF. Do that for a 1% sparking. Do not do that for a part 1 anniversary headlining character. He's weak compared to other anniversary characters on release. He was quite good, but he died on part 2. Rip Goku Black V2. A lot of people comparing him to Goku Black. I don't think it's the same. Have we ever seen a character that's just like their design overall was just like from the concept dead? I mean, I have to look through the whole entire game's history here. From the concept of the design, it was like already dead. It's like dead in the wild. Actually, it might be Broly, dude. Red Broly. They come out with the this character's whole entire kit is about the no switching mechanic, and this is the first, well, I guess no, technically the second character that dropped after Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because it was Gogeta, Omega, and then Broly. This entire character's purpose of having the anti-cover change mechanic just got circumvented by Gogeta's Gauge. Gogeta's Gauge nullified this entire character's like ability to do anything. So I actually think Broly is pretty similar. I would say Broly to me feels like a similar character to Evolution Blue Vegeta in terms of like how it feels, how his design feels, right? Before they even create the character, I assume what they do is they probably have like a whiteboard and they're sitting down in a room and they're like, okay, what do we want this character to do? What is the objective of this character? Already at that point, this character was bad in terms of his objectives. When they wrote on the whiteboard, you're right, in the office, we want Vegeta to do, when they wrote a bullet point list, one of the bullet points was long combo character. Take a red Sharpie, circle that. That's the problem. So before he was even conceived, he was already like kind of dead in the water, because the concept of what he wants to do is not, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And that's the same thing that happened with Broly. The concept of what this guy wants to do didn't work when he came out. So it's very similar actually to Broly. I would draw a bigger parallel between this guy and Broly as opposed to this guy and Rose Goku Black. All right, I think we'll do a few more here. Honestly, could have the canceling buffs and debuffs every time enemy uses a blue ultimate and rush, and he would be pretty much usable and decent for his defensive capabilities. Is that true though? I feel like he just gets incinerated by Namek Goku. Also, investing on his gauge is useless since it does pretty much nothing. It doesn't do nothing, but it just takes way too long to build it up because there's no charge rate anywhere besides on the green. Can we just talk about how they said they wanted to stop making long combo characters, but then immediately releases Evolution Blue Vegeta, who constantly force draws cards, Kaioken, who force draws cards, Revival Vegeta, who draws a full hand, and Frieza with the best combo extending tool in the game. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Yeah, that is pretty good. Boring when he dropped and still boring now. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think this is untrue because it's just, again, no new mechanics for the part 1 characters kind of threw a lot of people off. It's such a shame what they did to him. I thought he was good early on, but as part 2 and 3 came out, it became so clear that they didn't give him enough. The evolution gauge is a fun idea, but it should have done more / been slightly easier to grab, hoping for a plat or something. Yeah, I feel like most people would agree with this. The one left out, yeah. Honestly, with the release of Ultra Full Power Frieza, I've started to like him a lot more, and he's made fighting him a little bit more bearable with his card destruction and type advantage, but despite that, he still should have had more to compete with the other headliners. One thing that we could say about him is he does have uncancelable endurance on his blue card. The only caveat is you need to get to level 3 on his gauge, so you really have to invest a lot into this character early on to make his blue card really worth it. That is a very good tool against this character, because this guy deletes buffs when the opponent uses a blue card. So he can't delete the endurance null on this Vegeta's blue card. But here's the problem. Again, this is why I made the parallel between this Vegeta and Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku was a very good character when he dropped, but he aged super fast. Why did he age super fast? Because he's a selfish character. You need to invest a lot of time with that character, right? Dragon Fist dropped. Dragon Fist's entire claim to fame, his entire purpose on the team, was to fill his gauge up, and then you essentially had a one-shot nuke button with his Dragon Fist. That was why he existed. With Vegeta, first of all, Vegeta doesn't have something like that where he gets to like level 3 gauge and he gets like some insane ability. He's just getting more damage, and his endurance null on his blue is uncancelable. It's strong. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a strong mechanic, but it's not something like the Dragon Fist ability. But the parallel I'm drawing between this character and Dragon Fist is both characters take a lot of investment. And why is that a bad thing? Because you're taking time away from other characters, right? If you are forced to combo with this character, that means you can't combo with UI Goku. That means you can't combo with Namek Goku. Means you can't combo with Kaioken Goku or Green Vegeta. And a lot of times, you would rather be comboing with other characters. So the fact that you're essentially forced to combo with this character takes time away from characters who are probably going to just be performing better than this guy. It hurts you, and it hurts the team overall. That's what I mean by selfish. He's a selfish character. Same thing with Dragon Fist. Trash release like the one in Dokkan. Poor Dokkan, dude. All right, we'll make these 3 the last ones. I barely fought him past part 1, but when I did run into him, he was very oppressive. I ran into the other 3 way more. That's all I can say since I don't have him. Maybe Gage needs a rework to be faster because they literally didn't update nerfing his gimmick, which is long combos. Yeah. Offensively, he's fine, except his blue hitting like a pillow sometimes compared to UI Kaioken. His gauge isn't that slow to build if you ensure you start the combo with a green. Maybe. Again, it's just the fact that you have to combo with him specifically. Defensively, he needs help. Should have had permanent defensive neutral level 3 and buff cancel at all times. Yeah, I feel like maybe his level 3 is just too weak. He should have gotten some major mechanic at level 3, I think. Yeah. So the difference between like the levels is honestly the biggest thing with level 3 is this. The fact that his gauge charges gradually while on the battlefield when it's at level 3 is probably the biggest benefit that you get from it being level 3. But like he's just getting damage. I guess special move cost down. Who really cares about this? He should have had like, I don't even know, like a one-time blue card. What if at level 3, special move damage plus 200% once only or something? Just something like really, really strong. I feel like he needed that at level, like there needs to be a bigger payoff for getting to level 3, because right now that's the biggest issue with the character is it doesn't feel worth investing in him early to get to the higher level gauges. It doesn't feel worth it. Part 1 in general got the short end of the stick, it seems. You see UI Goku more than Evolution Blue Vegeta for sure, but Part 2 and 3 are just better than Part 1 overall. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with this from multiple angles too. Like, it's not just the characters. I still think UI Goku is very good. He just got really, really hard countered by Frieza. And then also he got nerfed a little bit by the dynamic area battle update, the battle system changes. I still think this character is very, very good though. But it's really just in terms of like the updates that came with the parts just feel way more significant in parts 2 and 3 than 1. All right, there we go. We'll wrap with that. I think Evolution Blue Vegeta is probably a little better than people think he is, but I don't think he was even close to being good enough when he dropped. And then, you know, as we got stronger characters in parts 2 and 3, it's just, you know, spiraled out of control. I hope he gets a unique equipment soon. I think they've shown that for underwhelming anniversary characters, they are willing to go a little bit extra. Goku and Frieza, they straight up buffed. And then for God Goku, they just gave him a, I don't know, do we want to call it the best unique equip of all time? It's up there for sure. So hopefully Evolution Blue Vegeta gets help that he needs in the form of a unique equip sooner rather than later. Also, let me know down below what you think of Evolution Blue Vegeta. And also, like I said at the beginning, let me know what topics you have if you would like me to do another discussion video, just because I've been asked to do more of these. So I'll see you guys in the next one.